Well, arguably, I would say that our very first Alberta Pension Plan meeting, hosted by the Alberta Prosperity Project down in Pitcher Butte, was actually a great success. People came in with open minds. They had excellent questions, very intelligent, well thought out questions, and the discussion and dialogue was phenomenal. Tanner Nindy, myself, and Vicki Bayford, who asked the questions of the both of us to get things started for the evening, was very well formatted, and I think everybody that left that evening actually left with a lot more information, a lot more knowledge, and a lot greater sense of security that this is indeed the absolute best thing that Alberta can do for itself. Now, one of the things though that did come up that night was about the sustainability and the security of the Canada Pension Plan, because people are afraid obviously of change. But here's the thing. So even the CPPIB, the Canada Pension Plan Investment Board, is very honest and open in admitting that the base CPP is underfunded. It is not fully funded. So this is what people need to understand. They seem to think that for some reason, taking the risk on an Alberta pension plan is far greater than continuing with what they have. But the reality is, if you take a look at the Mercer report, for example, that the CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst Report Institute, that they do on the best pension plans around the world, one of the factors, there's three that they take into consideration, is sustainability. Now, sustainability is taken into account over the long term. It is actually why Canada ended up ranking B, is because that is the one aspect of their three that it ranked the lowest. And so people have this illusion that Canada Pension Plan is indeed like number one in the world. That is not the case. It is ranked currently 12 out of 47 according to the CFA Institute and the Mercer report, which is not even the top 10, let's be honest. So, I mean, there's a lot of other provinces, or sorry, not provinces, but countries, and a lot of the pension plans that are doing better. But I want to get back to the sustainability, because there's a lot of unfunded liabilities. And if the CPP were to actually be fully funded, now these numbers, forgive me, they go back to 2019 based upon an audit that was done in 2015 by OFSI, the Office of Superintendent. These guys basically regulate and monitor, they audit all the financial institutions in our country, including banking, pension plans. And back in 2015, it was $900 billion, $900 billion short. At the time, the Canada Pension Plan was $392 billion. Okay, so just giving the real numbers. So today we're at 500, and some billion. I am trying to find the exact number as to where we are at currently with the unfunded liabilities. But what I'm trying to do with this is to determine whether or not the gap is expanding, so that number is getting bigger, or the gap is closing, getting smaller. And this is where it is so extremely important for Albertans, because we are a younger generation and the CPP is still a pot of cash. And the people who are going to retire before you are going to get to that pot of cash first. And so this is where the unfunded liabilities. So I've heard a lot of questions as I listened to the town halls that were done with the Jim Dinning and Mary and a few others there with the government, the Alberta government, that they did back in 2023. And a lot of young people were like, well, why would I mess with this? Why would I take the risk? Well, the question I think is better suited towards the Canada Pension Plan, and why would you take the risk there? Because Alberta being a much younger demographic, a much higher earning with surplus, basically we are funding the rest of Canada, and that is only continually going to get worse as Canadians age, and by 2030 in particular you're going to have the bulk of the baby boomers. So the question you should be asking of the Canada Pension Plan is, what is actually going to be left for you when you retire? In Alberta Pension Plan, we have a far better chance and opportunity to fully fund our 4 million person population, especially in the long term, over sustainable, to steal the word from the Canada Pension Plan. And we have a far better opportunity and likelihood that the money would actually be there for you. So again, these are all just my opinions based upon my expertise and experience. And of course, I will try and find that exact number to find out what that unfunded liability, where it sits today, and see if indeed they are closing the gap or they are expanding the gap. God bless you all.